Hey guys, Rob Murphy from Holistic Healing Choices here, and today we're going to have a look at Mark Manson's second biggest book, Everything is Fucked, a book about hope. So, having reviewed and had a bit of a look at the lessons and some of the points that Mark was trying to get across of his first book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I thought I'd give this one a go. I like his style of writing. I like how he's not telling you or trying to motivate you beyond your means or anything like that. So, things I like about this book, the humour straight away, the writing style, how easy everything is to understand. You don't have to have a background in self-help, biology, psychology, anything at all to get what Mark is talking about in this book. He makes everything very easy, uses great examples or metaphors so that you can easily follow. Now, in saying that, some of the things I didn't like about it, it's short. It's very, very short. It is about 230 pages or so. One of the other things I did like in it too is there is a whole section in the back that has references and notes to everything throughout the book. So, you'll see if I can find an example here. He will have little numbers. It's going to make a bloody liar out of me now. Yes, as you'll see, there's a little 16 there. So you go to that chapter's bit in notes, have a look for number 16 to see a deeper meaning about that or what he's referencing there. So that is cool that he's got a whole bunch of stuff to back him up in what he's saying. But what is the book about? Now, him saying it's about hope while calling the book Everything is Fucked is a bit... I didn't really get the whole hope bit until right at the end. Now, it is talking very much about your world. So there are very many themes in this that I've found similar things with NLP and other bits and pieces as well. So first, Mark makes a lot of references to everything being meaningless. Our lives are meaningless. They're a drop in the ocean sort of thing. We really won't make that much meaningful change in our lifetime, in my lifetime, so to speak. So for the 70 years I'm here, out of the thousands of years that are left to come or have been gone, I won't make that much change. Even though the things that I find important on a universal scale, they're not important. Now, with that being said too, he tells us we shouldn't stop attempting to make the world a better place. Many, many times throughout the book, he mentions, don't hope for better, be better, which is a fabulous, fabulous statement. One that I wholeheartedly agree with. So, okay, we'll get to the next point, which is about the feeling brain versus the thinking brain. Now, he illustrates why we need the feeling brain and to feel emotions and emotions so well, and why that can get us into so much trouble and stuff as well. So our feeling brain, our emotional side, is very much like a child. We want all the good stuff, but we don't really want to experience the bad stuff. And in that, we would rather sometimes feel nothing at all rather than feeling that bad stuff. And that doesn't work for us. Emotional problems can't be solved with logic. So while there's ways to, an example in the book, work out finance for a new car, there's no logical way out of a bad relationship, so to speak, without getting the feeling brain involved. Now, the feeling brain and the logical or the thinking brain, as it's referred to in the book, they don't talk real well. They don't talk together or mesh together on ideas. Now, it's not about controlling it. Our society at the moment is so fixated on just thinking, logic, reasons around things, but we don't do that. The reason we aren't all billionaires, aren't all fit and healthy, is because we don't feel like doing that sort of stuff. It's very important too that he illustrates in the book there about, lobotomies even. Like actually removing that feeling part of the brain. Doesn't work for us. because we need emotions to spur us into action. We need an emotional component to tell us what to do, why to do things. It gives us a reason. It gives us hope. Now, he illustrates that perfectly with a story about a guy who had a brain tumour and had that part of his brain actually removed, completely removed. Now, this guy was, witty, charming, had a wife and kids, fantastic job, and was very good at his job. After the surgery, after all the feeling brain was taken away from him, couldn't do a damn thing. Couldn't prioritise anything, was a couch potato, wouldn't even talk to his wife. Now, he knew, logically, that he should be doing these things, but he just didn't feel like it. His motivation, reason for everything was gone. So it goes to show how much we actually need our feeling brain. And, even if we're getting upset, we're feeling hurt, it shows that we still care. We still have hope for something in there because we give a shit, to put it simply. Rather than if it's just all logic and reason, we don't care. Now, you can look at that in your own life as well. What relationships do you care about? How do you go solving problems, like logical problems? Now, after you solve those problems, do you care that much about them? So, let's say we've got 4 plus 4, for instance. Let's say, for some reason, we're not able to solve that straight away. Now, that might cause us a little bit of anger and a little bit of whatever else, but after it's solved, after it's insignificant to us, do we actually give a shit about it? No. It's a logical problem, it's solved, it's done. Now, we always know that 4 plus 4 is 8, so to speak. And we can keep coming back to that. That's a learned thing. Now, another point that he makes very clearly in this, and has a few chapters dedicated to, is how to be an adult. How going from a child, adolescent to an adult, and the pleasure systems involved in that. Not sexual pleasure or anything like that, but a child does things for pleasure. Goes, grabs the candy, steals the candy, has no roles or responsibilities or anything like that enforced on it yet, or placed on it even, not enforced. Now, an adolescent will do things for an end goal of pleasure, but they go through their responsibilities and stuff to get there, and they learn from the principles of that to get to that pleasure. But an adult has to go by those principles. Now, in this book, he's talking about being honest, being authentic to yourself, being a person of do as I do, not do what I say, type of thing. So I can see there why there's a whole section dedicated to religion and what problems he has with religion, how power can corrupt people, and when they're in the position of that and selling hope to people, how they can easily suck in all this money and let it corrupt them while still selling this hope and fear and everything else to people who want something to believe in, want something to inspire them, want to make sense of why the hell we're actually here. And in that too, he then talks about pain. Now, at first I was like, okay, so I've got a bit of a disagreement with it. So, Mark states that we shouldn't really look to eradicate pain from our lives. We should just look to be able to deal with it. So, it may be there each and every day, but we've got the strategies, resources to be able to deal with that. Now, yep, okay, I can agree there, but I would say get rid of unnecessary pain. Now, I want to know how to deal with financial pain. Yes, absolutely, so that if I'm there, I can get out of it. Because there's nothing in me that actually wants to be in financial pain or distress. So that is, to me, an unnecessary pain. If I've got, some achy joints or whatever, I'll have a massage. I'll go see a chiropractor or an osteopath or whatever to get rid of that unnecessary pain and live my life a bit freer so I can worry about other things. But I get what he's saying here. So on a universal scale, now it's in the book here that they did a test to find out how happy people are. The results came back with a resounding 7 out of 10. Well, not so much a resounding, a bit of an average. And that was the average for most people, was a 7 out of 10. Now you might have someone who's an 8 or a 6 or something, but it depends too when they did that. So think about it this way. If I was to win $10 million, I would be 10 out of 10 happy. You know, most of my problems can go away, blah, blah, blah. I'd invest this, buy this house, whatever I needed. And I'll be happy, and I'll be able to buy houses and whatever else for family members and, you know, live the good life. Now, somewhere along the line, I'm going to get used to becoming a multi-millionaire, for instance. And I'll be back to that 7, happy. I'll start to get some pain into my life, whatever it be, whether it be the need to work, the need to fend off people who suddenly I'm their best friend sort of thing, and I'll have some level of pain in my life. So Mark's point is, if we don't have any pain in our life, we sit at that 7 and we will find some pain. So let's say we have a little scale here. If we're always sitting in the middle of this scale, what we'll actually do here, so let's say relative dies or something like that, it's pain. So we're in pain. Now somewhere along the line we'll deal with that, we'll find the resources to get back to 7. Now let's say something really good happens to us, we come here. We will actually find pain. We somewhat need, now going back to the feeling brain, something to complain about. So we end up, you know, back down the middle of the road, or that 7 out of 10 again. Now his point is, don't try and eliminate all pain in life. Now I agree with this to a degree, that think of a uni student who's been paid out, like got their course paid for, blah blah blah, living the best life, they know they're going to walk into a great job, this, that and the other, and they have nothing to complain about. So they'll take on someone else's pain, whether that be an inequality in something. So that's why we have so many student rallies. You know, all these kids have all the technology. They can contact anyone, anytime, anywhere, sort of thing. They've got a pretty good life. Things are the best that they've ever been. And Mark actually mentions that in the book as well. But yet, we have rallies, we have things, we have people yelling at each other in the street over trivial shit. Because they need something, they need some sort of pain in their life. Now I didn't get that right at the start, but it makes so much sense when you read it in the book. We then come to some of his final points in the book. So, pain is a universal constant. We will endure pain in our life, whether we make it or not. So don't try and get rid of every single pain, because too, if we get rid of the really bad stuff, or we never experience any of the really bad stuff, if one day that happens to us, we don't know how to respond to it. We don't know how to cope, which, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that point as well. He then finishes the book by saying you should be making up your own mind about things. So don't blindly follow. Now that's another good point too. He talks about how smoking in the 1920s, women weren't so much allowed to, but they were really, really judged for smoking because it was a man's thing. Now I know we've come a long way since then, but the whole reason that women got into smoking was because of marketing. Now think of that too in your religion, everywhere. Everywhere today we're being bombarded with marketing. So switch off. You want better? You do better. Do what is right for you. Don't get caught into the want versus need argument, which I did a video on ages ago as well, because it starts to really sap your life. You're just wanting that next thing, rather than going for what actually will improve your life or improve the lives of others that you do. And then to finish it off, he starts talking about what he believes will be the final religion, which will be artificial intelligence. Now he made a good case for this in that the case of AI is starting to learn. With the one Google developed, learning chess on the day and then being able to beat some of the most advanced AI that has been programmed, calculated for that within a day, without knowing what the hell chess even was that morning of that, you know, the chess competition where they put all the AIs together to find out which is the best AI. And then they moved on to a harder game with more moves and stuff. and it was able to learn that and then start beating real people and then AI again. So it's learning. Now, that strikes a little bit of fear in me, just quietly, but think about it already. Things are already learning, targeting ads to you from what you say while holding your phone, or looking or clicking, or whatever the case may be there. But this could lead to things where they are so much faster than us in finding a cure currently for, the coronavirus that's out there at the moment, the big scare, or any future things, like finding out before it even happens, that sort of thing. Now, he seems to embrace that sort of thing. I'm a little bit, skeptical about that sort of thing, but that's just my opinion. But all up, this book is worth a read. And being relatively short, everybody should be able to read it, finish it, and formulate their own opinions. I guess the biggest thing is, don't lose hope. You want better, you do better. Don't hope for better, actually take some action towards what you want. And that is a beautiful message. Eventually, we're going to be looked after. So maybe most of our jobs that we do now will become obsolete as well, given the AI will probably do a better job than us. Who knows? But if you want better right here and now, where it matters, you do better. Be better. But anyway guys, that's it for this one. I highly recommend this book. And be better. It's a great message. So with that in mind, smile more. Say hello to more people. Make more people's day. Pick up trash. Clean up around your area. Be better. Be more organised. Don't buy into or needing the hope of other things to rescue you. This is your life. You're responsible for it. You do be you. But anyway guys, that's it for this one. I know it was a little bit ranty, but I'm Rob Murphy and I will see you in the next video.